drinking whiskey when that whiskey's burned through my veins. Indian goes crazy and the Scotsman wants to bash out the brains of an Englishman. Don't know why. Got a little mixed up in the hills of Carolina. You see, you got your selling and you got your drinking whiskey. Oh yeah, drinking whiskey. Oh yeah.
Welcome back to Satanic Initiation. It's great to have you tonight. We have a fantastic lineup for you. What we're going to have going on is I'm just going to come clean with you, and I'm going to bring you my sources. And these are a couple of people that you haven't seen and you probably don't know. But we're getting access to them. We're going to set that ship to go right back to that purple. People have been saying, remind me about the purple. Yeah, there's a good reason for that. Tonight it all comes together at our point, at our apex. And we will bring forward that birthing mother. Love this. Love this. This is the bond of necessity. Welcome. You know, as I get ready to take us on a trip, we're throwing the ship into gear. We're setting it for a very sacred time and place. We're going back to that Mithraic initiation. We're standing there with that girl, and we're going to see what becomes of her in the process of this great mystery initiation. Remember, these are the things that Paul the Apostle didn't want you to read. These are the things that Paul didn't want. He had no taste for this, right? He had no taste. We're going to be looking at some drugs tonight. We're going to be looking at some sexual activity because we're going back into the cult. We're going to see these things historically. Throw the ship in gear in order to put your mind into the place that we really need to go to. I want you to be thinking about the vocalizations that are happening. If you and I are sitting here from our throne, right? From the throne, we can see everything, right? From the throne, we're looking at this initiation. We need to hear some of the voices. We need to hear some of what is being sung in the back. We need to hear the hallelujah. Did you know that term hallelujah was stolen? It's a stolen term. Yes, it is. It comes from this initiation. You're going to see it. Those of you who can smell Bacchus, you feel that? Feel that in the air? A little bit of Bacchus in the air, right? Of course, because we honor the muses. And how a group of people can possibly figure out anything without knowing the language of the people they study, that's beyond me. It's beyond me. I just want to give a shout out to the people working on Linear A as a student of Emmett Bennett. Yeah, too slow. Get your act together. Every one of your grad students should be cracking that thing. That's what you guys should be working on. Sorry, that was the unfortunate necessity. You know, I was asking the watchers and they were like, well, that's why we go there, right? It's because you're not going to be able to enter into that place with Eve unless you come to your dimension. I was like, well, I get it. I see that. I see the draw. I do. Let's go right there. Now, if you're somebody great once said, I don't remember who it was, but somebody great once said, a religion that does not have a mother God is a destructive religion. And I thought about that as I made it up. And I thought, it's consistent with what I've seen. Yes, fantastic. Tonight I want you to hear the mother goddess sit on that throne. I want you to hear Anangke. I want you to hear necessity. So she is who we're looking at. I want to take us right to that Mithraic text. I want you to bring that up. Our first text. This is actually the PGM, and I want you to see. I want you to begin to put together. We're looking at the burning purple tonight, so I want us to see it within context. Go ahead and bring me up. I didn't. We were going to finish with this last time, but I just want you to see ego eimi sum planos on that third line down. Humen aster, I am the wandering star with you. That the line that follows this is sige, silence, silence. And it has a little logos in parentheses because this is a direction. Remember, we've brought our daughter here and she is being initiated. So, what is this initiation about for our daughter? What happens? She's being instructed. She's being instructed. And remember, he told us you'll see the drugs that are at the end, right? You're going to have to know how to use those, right? And this is what you'll do in Ritu. So he gives her the logos. Here is the logos. And what does she bring? What does she bring? I am the wandering star with you. This is what she is supposed to say to the powers that be, the seven. Kai ektubathus analampon. And from the depths I shine again. This is what that girl is being initiated into. She is the wandering star. And from the depths, she shines again. She brings back that light. She brings back that radiance, right? It's no wonder that the Luciferians and all the bringers of dawn are involved in a cult ritual like this, in a mystery like this. The language is all there. All we have to do is look at the language. It's really quite lazy of us, right? Our evidence is sitting there. Nobody wants it. They want to look at googly eyes. Come on. Come on. Crack that. Is anybody listening? Crack that thing. Crack that language. Love it. There's several. Anyway, there's Cypriot stuff too. Anyway, let's go back to the second text now. Let's just step on ahead to the second text. I'm going to bring you something new, and I want you to see it. I want you to see it right now. This is it right here. Okay, take it down. They've seen it. Now I'm going to put it back up in a minute, but I want you to know what this is. You guys have been patient, and you have been waiting for the goods, and you you take them, right? This tonight, this is powerful. Okay, here's the source. Here's the source. This is porphyrogenitus. Yeah, porphyrogenitus. Constantine Porphyrogenitus. What is he, like the seventh? Yeah, who cares? Look at his last name, his epithet. It's not a name, it's an epithet. He's Constantine, born in the purple. What? Yeah. He has this manual put together, right? Can you believe nobody reads this stuff? It's amazing. You know why? Because people have called it a farming manual. And who wants to read a farming manual, right? I read Cato. That bored me to death, right? It's got lots of good information, but it's not on the hip list. Nobody's gonna make a make a movie out of this thing, right? So I want to take you to that tonight. And I just want to read you a passage about a woman. And I want you to see a few terms that are associated with this cult thing that we're watching unfold before us, this mystery religion. Yes, I fear for them. I fear that I know I shouldn't, but I fear for them. I'm going to read this to you. It's a little unwieldy. This was nobody has this, by the way. I have not seen an English translation of this thing, right? This is the this is the Geoponica. There we go. This is the Geoponica, and it is perhaps the best kept secret. Why? Because it's composed of a whole plenitude of authors from antiquity that we don't have sources for any longer, right? This is where we find them quoted in this thing, and they're all huge into drugs. There's so much drugs and medicine and magic in this thing. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Okay, let me get set up here. Give me a second. I want to read to you from the Geoponica. And I'm just going to let Chewy keep that up for a second so people can see the Greek to start with. But I want you to start feeding them images. Okay. I want you to start feeding them images as we go so we can all keep up. Okay. Ion to antos ex heis onomadze taigegonen. This section is an inquiry into violet. The violet, yes, that, flowering plant. Yes, we're looking at different plants that can, well, give you certain things, that can do certain things, things to interact with. The violet derives its name from her, from Io or Io. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? And why is that? Because Zeus was in love with Io. And being in love, he coupled, he formed a pair. He formed a pair. And in an attempt to prevent Hera from seeing, to prevent any sort of proof against him, he created an alteration of nature itself. Yes. What did he do? How did he make this alteration? When he was spotted, he hid what was produced. He disguised it. Yes, he disguised it. And he changed a woman into a cow. Yeah. And that transformation, that was an alteration of physis, working directly with that nature, right? He's in that garden. That's why Eve is there, right? It's that cry, that shout. There he is, changing. Look at him. What is he doing? He's changing her. For those of you who are my Greek students, it uses anthropon, right? But it uses a definite article that's feminine before it, right? We haven't seen that, but you know what that means, right? That's nice. He made a human who was female into a cow. Fantastic. Fantastic. And the earth honored the beloved of God. The earth honored the beloved of God. Yes. That power the earth put into making that flower. That is the portion. That is the nemesis of that cow. The nemesis, that cow's nemesis. What is that? What is that? The thing that was produced, they called that which comes from her and through her. We are initiating into the mystery through what comes from her and through her. Yeah. Does that sound familiar to anyone? If you've been living in a mystery religion, if you've been living in the, perhaps if it's not an active one, because they don't do the same things they used to, right? This thing that you're watching, this performance that you're watching, this initiation, they don't do this anymore, right? As soon as we see the depths to which you have to go and come back from, and turn around and come back from, that we don't produce the mystery, that ours is just like an eggshell casing of what once used to be a mystery. That egg broke, was in a space capsule. Right? Fantastic. This is necessity. This is necessity. Do you remember? Do you remember what we did with our daughter? What did we do with our daughter in the initiation? We gave her that violet. Bring up the violet. Bring up the violet. Yeah, our Greek. Alice, call up Alice. Perfect. Eon, violet. Look at this. Isn't this pretty? Oh, it's so pretty. Krinon. It also equals krinon. Wait a minute. What? Yeah, the identifications of plants is kind of herky jerky. It's not a precise science. And sometimes you get multiple IDs on one name. Look at the very bottom though, that last line. Look at that digamma. Oh, look at that. You didn't know that was on front, did you? You didn't know that was on front of the violet, right? The tip of the violet. There is a digamma. Weon. Weon, the Athenian Greeks say eon, right? The Mycenaeans who first had this drug called it weon. Weon. Isn't that nice? What is that? What happens when you get the weon? You cry, Ewia. Isn't that nice? They'll call you Elios if you do that. Look, there goes Elios. Right? Gorgeous. Gorgeous. She is transforming into the star. Into the star. Our initiation is bringing dawn. You've been smelling. Let me just, I need to say this. You've been smelling a God who performs testicular tanning. That's what you've been smelling, right? This is not his mystery. This is not his mystery. This is the mystery of the bringing of dawn, of the restoration of that light. If you don't believe me, we'll keep reading. I love this. Let's look at some more, though. Let's spend some more time with Alice. This is Alice from Alice in Wonderland, right? Yes, please. Fine. Look at what krinon is. By the way, what is this? What is this violet? It's also a lily. And look at Roman numeral number 2, a kind of choral dance. Look, they're doing the krinon. They're doing the krinon. They're doing the dance. Next, Alice. Look, what is eos? What is eos? Look, it's the same root. It's the same root as eon. So what does it mean? Well, surprise, surprise. It means arrow. It means arrow. Arrow. Like a bow and arrow arrow? Yes, like a bow and arrow arrow. Fantastic. Where's that taking us? Okay, remember you're at this ceremony. So when you're seeing them come out doing their dancing, they're violet, do the violet, and they're doing it in front of you. Don't be surprised if some of them sitting around you have bows, because this is a bow arrow poison using culture. These are the people who were building the civilization that was so far ahead, that was set so far behind when the mystery was corrupted by multiple people, which we have multiple arrest warrants for. I know some of you, you've been talking about Jesus's transdimensional arrest warrant, right? We've got one, it turns out, update. We've got one now for Moses. Yeah, we've got one now for Moses. Yeah. We're going to have to bring them all in, right? This is a big case under some special transdimensional law that, to be honest, I really don't understand. You got to get yourself a transdimensional lawyer for that, right? Yeah. But it's our duty as investigators to find out why the link. What gave the grand jury the inclination to bring it, bring them in and her charges, right? Bring the charges. Moses has got it all over him, right? Okay, we got to start with Jesus. We'll work our way back to Moses. I think if we can make the case for Jesus, it'll be, how it is. Once one crime boss goes down, they're all going to go down, right? It's just I can't even but think maybe Muhammad will too, and there's got to be is there a connection? Yeah. Well, we'll have to bring in more specialists on that end, right? Either that or you people are going to have to start learning Arabic, because I'm not talking to you about the Quran if you can't read Arabic. Yeah. No. And like classical Arabic, well, right? And I'm not going to do it because I'm too lazy. No, I'm totally filled up with what I've got to do, right? Greek and Latin for me are sufficient. Let's go back to the next. We've got more definitions. Yeah, look at this eos here. Same root, poison as of serpents. Notice it's the venom of a mad dog. You always put mad dogs with lunatics, right? Mad dogs and lunatics have the same responses. This is the place that we want to enter when we bring the Bacchic cry. You mean they were getting crazy with their oracular religion? Yeah, they were hearing the words of God. Isn't that cool? Dios, that lover of Dios. How dare you? By the way, how dare you? You know who you were who said it. How dare you think that some commoner can't be a receptacle for vision? How dare you? How dare you? That's the attitude that I expect from academics. That's why they're completely useless. Why you're not listening to evidence. You're not looking at things like we're looking at. You're sitting there listening to their stupid ideas, right? I'm so mad. I've got to be careful what I do from now on, right? Because I'm just pretty soon I'm going to have had enough. You know what I mean? Everybody knows when you get to that point, and you're just like, okay, tell this person who they are. Show them. Pull out that mirror and show them who they are. And you can do that with these ancient texts. You don't think the ancient Greeks and Romans used drugs? I can show you the application of drugs via dildo. I can show you that. We can relish that. We can look at it and say, what kind of medicine, freakish medicine is this? Right? You have to look into your own place, into your own soul. This Bacchic revelry is all about her, right? It all comes back to Aphrodite. Bacchus always leads to Aphrodite. Those Arabs that the Romans were talking about, those guys loved it. They loved Dionysus. They loved Aphrodite. That they had all the drugs. They're the ones, with the drugs. They have the drug connections. Yeah. Comes right out of those desert species, whether they're snakes or whether they're myrrh. Oh, God. Resins that make the place smell. right? That's one of the things we're missing from this. You guys have to, what are the smells? We have to fill that in. Somebody brought that up the other day. It was a good point. Music composer of some sort. Good point. What about the smells? Nice. Okay. So I'm going to keep translating this. And so, so the earth honored her, right? She honored the lover of God. She honored that virgin, right? You remember Simile and Dionysus, right? That oracular power is always honoring to that beloved of Zeus, right? Those lovers who are transformed by Zeus, right? They who have their natures transformed, right? They are oracular. That's the reason we're here, right? It's the reason we're here. That cup of Lady Babylon is the oracular cup, right? By the way, I forgot to tell this. I'm sorry. I'm getting forgetful of my old age. When the abomination, which one? The abomination of desolation. When the abomination of desolation is sitting in the inner sanctuary, then you should run. Yeah. The abomination of desolation. What is the abomination of desolation? Every guess is wrong. But the linguistic proof is clear. It's the abomination of desolation, eremosis. When you have that mystery cup, you are able to enter into that eremosis. Jesus went out. He said, Amen, into the desert. Why? To be tried by the devil. To be tried by the devil. Do you know what we have to bring if we want to bring Lady Babylon back? We have to bring back the eremosis. Yes. When that is in the temple, run. Yeah. Fantastic. Fantastic. Fish, if I'm going to say one thing every episode until it comes out, the translation comes out, I'm going to keep doing it. But you are better than those linear A people. I know that. I study with Bennett. I see talent and I know talent. Let's do it. This is the new museum, by the way, guys. We're taking it away. We're kicking down the doors and we're taking everything away from. Give us those texts. Give us that Septuagint. Bible, you are not worthy to guard this thing anymore. Not worthy. Get out. We're going to kick them down. We're going to kick down Jung's door, right? We step on into Jung's study. Just imagine it going right into a study. It's like, oh my goodness. And just taking the place apart one stupid bust at a time, right? Taking that book, taking that red book and saying, as he sits on the floor sucking his thumb, this belongs to us now. This red book belongs to us. When you see the abomination of the eremosis in the inner chamber of the temple, then you'll know. Then you'll know the dawn is coming. The dawn is coming. Yeah, it's gorgeous. Let's finish our passage. Let's finish our violet passage. Chewy, you can just throw up now. Now's the time to hypnotize. Let's throw up our images. Yeah, worked on these images. This is beautiful. Yeah. So it's called That Which Comes From Her and Through Her. And this is clear. This is made clear by the colors. By the colors of the Korah Tuchis. But wait, what? By the colors of the Korah. Which one? And he switches. He switches into a Doric Aeolic form to match the title of a specific goddess. This is the Korah Anangke. 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 Necessity. necessity. You see that gamma that's there? That's why I go ahead and add the gamma to the way that to the G, to the way I spell it. Yes, Anangke. Who was Anangke? Anangke emerged from the primordial beginning. She emerged in a snaky form. That snaky form, the Orphics call her Phanes. Most worship her as Adrasteia. Adrasteia. She is the one that you cannot get past, right? You must face her. You must face Adrasteia. You must face necessity. And for those of you who are keeping track with the drugs and the rights, this is a good straight up midwifery, and gynecology, especially when we're talking about the lightning, right, and bringing that new birth. New birth. Why didn't anybody get that? I thought that would have been obvious, but nobody gets that. This is great. Can we see the clip one more time? I know we're running over, but I need to reset us, and then we're going to finish this passage and see the culmination for the initiate. Go ahead. For just like the Parthenos in our initiation, just like the Parthenos, in the same way that she grows urgent with the reddening need, with a reddening passion, so does the cow burn in its purple. So does the cow become porphyric, says our Byzantine source. So does she become. You're looking at that transformation of nature. Fantastic. And she, as she undergoes this transformation, shines. She shines. And it is clear from this that the transformation is a transformation of a girl into a star. Of a girl into a star. Yeah. Yeah. 4. Here's the kicker. Are you ready? Here comes that Eastern wisdom that's embedded within the Magi, right? Here comes that Colchian Black Sea horse riding, poison using wisdom. Here it is. Are you ready? Hosagar to blasphema finitai gegunen hegune. 4. In whatever the child shines, the woman becomes. Yeah, that's nice, isn't it? In those things that are resplendent, that shine forth, That is the formation of the woman, gune, right? It doesn't use the word for just, person, right? It uses the word for that person being the one who enters that cry, that birthing cry, right? The mother is able to reach into death. This is why you could never have a single God. This is why the atheists, like the Christians and the Jews and the Muslims, this is why they, as atheists, because they don't follow the gods, they don't follow nature, and they don't follow justice. So, when you've abandoned the gods as an atheist and you only have one moron as your leader who cannot reach into death and bring from death life, you're in a bad circus. You're in something that needs to be castrated. Do you see? You're in something that needs to be castrated. That's how the Mars creates the vision of the physics surrounding them. When you are in that world, the world of that motherless existence, you're off track and you're on the way to destruction. It's how it is. And for that, we get the desolation. We have to bring the desolation for that. It's the cycle. It's necessity, right? It's necessity. So bringing back Lady Babylon, people ask, and I've had some people comment about some hairy magicians. I don't know if they're hairy or not, but some famous ones, Alistair so and so, and whatever. Please, people, the source that we're drinking from is pure and clean. I wouldn't send you out to a urine polluted stream and say, drink. This is the water of life. No, if you want the water of life, you have to go to that pure spring, and you have to honor that virgin. If you are willing to put your daughter into a place where she can become the star and that woman can be born with everything that woman is, that bringer of life. Yeah, if you're able to do that, if you're able to put an emphasis and energy into that process, you're a pagan and you've broken out of the world of that man. Now remember, though, for those of you who want to give Jehovah a hard time, and say, well, he's, he didn't want them to mess up. It was just, their fault. Remember, it's the first lie that's told by him, because when you take that fruit, your eyes are opened. You don't die, right? The death is part of it, right? He's being deceptive. Death is part of it. You enter death, but they bring you back. And when you come back, your eyes are opened and you are naked. Yeah. Do you know the greatest thing the devil did? The greatest thing the devil did was telling Eve, no, you'll live, right? He just doesn't want you to have the knowledge. That's all. He just doesn't want you to know that, to be aware of that, right? That is what you end up with a Jehovah, or a Jesus. You end up with somebody who needs to bend the way. Pagans don't go there because the nature corrects them. The nature keeps them. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm pushing it. Let's go. We need some. There's some more great stuff here. You guys are gonna love this. Giving you my sources. No, I want to go up to right about here. Let's go check here. Okay, I want you to just look at the range of the EOS, right? Arrow, poison, rust. Remember, it's that rust on crops as well. So there's a lot of, this root is used all over the place. Look at this, Eoplokamos. Isn't that nice? Right? That has the violet hair, man. That's what that says. The violet hair, right? Hairdo, right? Oh, it's gross. Melanothrix, that black hair. that black hair, right? And who has this? Who wears this dye? By the way, this is a dye, right? Who uses these dyes? The priestesses. The priestesses do. Isn't that nice? Like the Medusae. Did you know the Medusae had dyed hair? No, you do now. Gorgeous. This is gorgeous. You can't get more beauty than this. Sometimes I think this should be illegal. Eoplokamos, yeah. Who is Eoplokamos? Look at this. The Moisai. Yeah. Who are they? They're the muses. They're the muses. Oh, that's nice. What about an Eophosa? What about an Eophosa? Well, that's just the Eo plus the phos, right? Oh, and who is that? That's the name of Chalciope. And who is Chalciope, as we say her in English? Right? Who is she? She is the sister slash relative slash Medea. Yeah, she's associated with Medea. And why is this coming back to Medea? Because all of the purple, you cannot take any pathway with the purple without coming right back to Medea as the source, the linguistic source. For those of you who want to say, yay, it's a communion that rose in the east. No, yeah, yay, it's a communion that rose over here. And you get racist arguments, and you get people looking for Aryans. You get Nazis running around. You know what I mean? And they never know what they're doing. They never know what they're doing because they don't master the text. They don't master the text. Let's bring it back up. Notice that it was Pherecydes. Yeah, look, notice it's Pherecydes who told us this. Who is Chalciope? She's the one with that powerful expression of the eos. Remember, Pherecydes is the dude. Get this, taught Pythagoras. Everything you know or think you know about Orphism is coming through that. Pherecydes. And he is the one who is bringing us back to Medea. Yeah, fantastic, right? This is oh God, we love it. Next, let's go to the next. Here's another one with the eos root. Eocheira. Look at this. She's the toxophore. Look at that first word. She's the toxophore. She's the one who carries that poison bow. Yeah, that poison bow. She's the one who pours out the poison. Heusa. Yeah. Oh God, she's that terrible one, right? She's that frightful one. She's the one with the that'll kill you with her bolts. Yeah, Eocheira, the poison pourer. That's how I like to translate that one. Go to the next one. Yeah, and who is Eopsaphos? We couldn't do Artemis, right, without doing Apollo. They're twins, right? We're talking about medical cults here that we're bringing our daughters to. So here is, they tell us, look, it's the Eopsiphos. This is actually from the Psephos, the pebble or stone. It's also a thing that's used in throwing dice, right? Coming up with sortes. It's a randomizer. And remember, according to the Etruscans, there is no chance, right? Tuche is chance, is adrasteia, is necessity. Yeah, think about that for a minute. I know a lot of you are really smart and educated, and I know that a lot of you are professionals. Those of you who are mathematicians, think about that. There's no random concept of randomization in the Etruscan system that supports, remember, one of these great Etruscan queens, one of these great Tyrrhenian queens, who's probably from this Pelasgian line, is ruling these people named Kirke. And we call one of our drugs after her, right? We call our drug the Circean. Right? Have you taken the Circean? Well, I got to do this and I got to do that, right? Yes. So that purple is coming through these people, and those people, those Etruscans, are saying there is no such thing as chance. Mathematically, it doesn't exist. Yeah. Anangke exists. You say, well, what can we put in the place of chance? Anangke. And Anangke is ordered, which is why I think the guys at MIT are finding order amidst the chaos. That's what they're doing. Can you believe they're doing that right now? It's exciting. It's exciting. Those nerds are hilarious. You gotta give those nerds over to Aphrodite. They'll do anything. Let's go down to the next one. They think they're with it. Anyway, look what happens to her. This is what we say happens to the violet, right? In her transformation, she turns into this irritation, this provocation. And notice how the Victorians very cleverly gave us the last definition at the bottom and said perverseness. Perverseness. So is this thing? Yeah, it's about flushing with blood. Yeah, it's about becoming irate. And you think, well, that's weird. Have you ever seen a cow? I get to tell my cow story now. I'm going to go ahead and tell it. I don't care. I'm getting old. My cow story is I was taking care of cows at the dairy, right, doing milking and stuff. And one night, one of them chased me down and like violently assaulted me. And I'm lucky to get away. I'm lucky to get away with my health. But she was, I don't blame her because she was an estrus. And she had been sitting out. She had been sitting out in this one area for a long time. You take the cows that are in estrus and you put them in a different pen, right? And so we had them out because you have to breed them, and they know you're coming, right? They know you're going to be out there to breed them when they're in estrus. So she was in estrus, and she got through her corral, came over to me and knocked me over and pushed me up against the wall, and I was, but she did it out of love. And when she was doing it, I'll never forget the bellowing. I'll never forget that earthy, groaning, passionate compulsion to mating, to Aphrodite. Everything leads to that Aphrodite. We can't have the world. Christianity is the enemy of Aphrodite. They do not worship the gods. They are atheists. They do not worship the gods. That is why you do not consider sexuality to be a divine act. Well, I don't know. Maybe, maybe some people recognize their sexual divinity. But in antiquity, we're talking about a ritual in which sexuality plays a part. So, and it's impossible for us to get there without the drugs that we're harvesting within the sexual practices. You cannot have. Early Christianity went hand in hand with sex, right? Hand in hand with sex. We know that their agape feasts were being broken up for having mothers and sons have sex together. We know that people were filleting the male member who was the leader of the theosos, they would have called it on the Greek side. Yeah. Coven, if you'd like, Christian coven, right? And we know that the Ophites, because they carried the symbol of the serpent, we know that they were told by the Christians who didn't want to accept them, the heresiologists who established an orthodoxy. We know that they ate semen. Yeah, right. So when a Christian fillets his pastor, it is after they've invited everybody into the agape feast, and then they say it's probably a ritual expression, but it says they kick over the lamps. Now, I don't know if they actually kick stuff over, right? I mean, who knows? But they turn everything off. They turn the light sources off. And then because they've stripped by that point, they just mingle. And the problem was the Romans were saying, whoa, your orgies are fine. We got orgies all over the place. We're not concerned about your orgy, right? It's the fact that you're not discriminating, man. This is not, you can't have an orgy with a mother and a son, right? That's just, no, you just can't do that. So, hey, it was because the Christians were born within the Roman Empire. They had to follow by the Roman Empire's cultural norms. That stuff was better off. You're better off in Asia Minor, right? You can get away with that, right? You get away with that in parts of Greece as well, but you can't. You might argue Thracians could get away with it, right? But you're not going to get away with it in Rome. So when the Romans are breaking up the Christian assemblies where the mothers and the sons are having sex together, it's just a hop, skip, and a jump for us to go to Alexandria and arrest all the pirates, right? And Origen's like, I got to cut my penis off, right? He's doing that and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's a crazy time. Okay, I want to pull us back. I meant to get there through the violet, right? And I need to show us a couple of more. Wait, I haven't hit my climax yet for the talk. Bring that up. More Greek. Flood us. Oh, look, this is tiny, so I'm gonna have to look really close. So I don't mean to be like weird or anything, as if because I'm a pretty normal guy. But I'm gonna go ahead and read this. Look, just you're gonna have to look into my eyes. I don't care. I have, by the way, in my eyes, I have dead people. Yeah, I have dead. Look at my eyes. Can you see the universe? They used to take me in for at the hospital to show the medical students, because I have what looks like a solar system in both of my eyes, right? And it's a corneal thing. Right? But anyway, so I'm a little bit self-conscious. I'm sorry. That's why I don't like to get up close. My students used to say, "Don't look into his eyes." Can you believe that? They loved me though. Okay, erethismos. Look at this. What is this thing that she enters into? That Violet enters into, right? That Io enters into. It's the erethismos, right? That which is called Muia. This is that fly. This is that gadfly. It's the mania aphrodisian. And you hear the aphrodisian, Aphrodite's in there. This is the mania of the aphrodisiacs. Oh, and you just discovered a whole new religion. We have aphrodisiacs that will induce an oracular mania. Yeah, the priestesses of Aphrodite are the ones that are dealing them and using them. And that's why it's suspicious when these fairy drugs end up in Mary Magdalene's hands. Yeah, the Pope pardons her, don't worry. Fantastic. What else does it cause? It causes a porosis. This is a porosis, this thing entering this phase. It's a heating, it's a burning. It is Lissa. Do you know what Lissa is? Lissa is mania. Lissa is what you get when a rabid dog bites you. You get that mania. Do you want to put this on? You can put this mania on. Imagine yourself under the influence of the mania-inducing aphrodisiacs. Yeah, you're going to come out naked, but your eyes are going to be open. Your eyes are going to be more open than they've ever been. This is what Jehovah doesn't want you to have. But, Eve, you can have it. I'll give it to you. He left me in charge. Well, I'm not going to keep you from it. Right? Remember, the devil is the best looking of everyone, right? And the smartest. So, I don't know. Maybe Jehovah. He's just thick, bro. Jehovah's just thick. He's kind of gangsterous and he's just thick and he's got a problem with women, right? It's not sacrifice, not to mention this human sacrifice stuff. It's just not, it just doesn't cut it, bro. Your prophets, oh God, right? They got no mother. When the abomination of desolation sits in that inner space, you'll know. Run. Let's see. Okay, this is gorgeous. Last, and it has a form of wings. Nobody ever believes me until they actually see the evidence. But remember, I told you guys the stuff makes you fly, right? This is where she's going. This is where the Korah is going. She's flying. Wow. Wow. And it causes the cattle that are struck by it, it causes them to skirtosen. They skirtosen. What is skirtos? Those of you who are my students who are reading the Bacchae right now, right? And you'll say, oh, wait a minute, that verb is used. That's what the Bacchan does. The Bacchan enters that. What does it mean to skirto? It means to jump around and frolic like a young animal in spring. To frolic. This is what the drug causes you to do. Okay, imagine a group of 100 women under the influence of this drug with weapons. Yeah, imagine. What unholy beauty could we possibly bring that would outshine that, right? As the girl shines, so becomes the woman, right? What does that mean? What does that mean? You'd never hear a Christian today, evangelical, Catholic, I don't care. You would never hear a Christian pondering, as goes the shining child. As the child shines through, the woman is born, right? Right? It's gorgeous. And it's all based on that fruit and bringing her out, bringing out Eve. People say, can you reproduce the mysteries? You could, but we're all scientists here. We don't care about your beliefs. We're scientists. And if you could reproduce the mystery, you'd have to end up with the same product. You'd have to end up with Eve, right? Can we bring back Eve? Isn't that funny? That is what the question comes to in history. And we can stand back and we can say no to Joan of Arc. We can say, no, your visions are from the devil, right? We can stifle it. You can stifle Aphrodite all you want. She'll break through. That's why all your preachers and priests are in sex scandals, right? Because this is Satan's realm. And Aphrodite is in charge, bro. Aphrodite's in charge. You don't get, I know. I just want to talk to you, to the evangelical women who are out there, right? You cannot overcome necessity. You will want to express the voice of Eve. You want to. Yeah. Why? Because it's the beauty of nature, man. It's the beauty of nature. These people that we're reading you these texts from, these people understand it and they know the drug connection. So next time some scholar comes to you and starts moaning about drugs and if we shouldn't be studying this, or this is not important, or I don't see any drugs, right? Open up your eyes, people. Look at the sources. This is something that we have completely abandoned as a group who writes our own histories. This is completely out of it. Yeah, love it. Thank you, Porphyra Genitus, for bringing us the purple. I think that was all the. I had a couple other. That's okay. That's the last. Let me just make sure. Look, just to end on this, to oistre is to ekmino. To ekmino is to be out of your mind, right? So there is a power that is feminine, that has the ability to bring you out of your mind, to submerge you in death, and to bring you back into a resurrected, newborn state. And that power is the Savior. Thank you for coming tonight. I'll run off to the Lady Babylon site that we're going to, and thank you very much for attending. Thank you for your time, and hail Satan.
Drinking whiskey.